Etsy sellers, can I just get your attention for a few minutes? I'll make you a trade. I guarantee if you sit through to the end of this video, you will find this interesting. So over the years on Etsy, millions of products have been sold that shouldn't have been on the platform. Copyright, trademark, IP infringement, and so on, right? You see them every day on the platform. But now and again, a product type comes along that just boggles my mind. And this is what I want to show you today. Coming up on your screen now are two plants. The first one coming up on your screen now is an orange and blue hosta plant. And the second one coming up on your screen now is a red and white and blue hosta plant. Okay, so I'm hoping when you saw those images, your eyes sort of popped out of your head and you thought, what on earth are these plants? So this is what's going on Etsy, and we're going to dig into this. I'm going to go deep on this because I think it needs to be called out, right? These sellers are selling seeds that are purported to grow plants like the ones that I've just shown you, okay? So the first thing that you need to understand is, of course, and I hope every single one of you realize this watching this video, those plants aren't real, okay? They're not real, right? So what these sellers are doing is they are making AI generated images of these imaginary plants based on real plants. So hosta is a real plant, it's a real seed. But of course the actual images that they're showing, they're AI generated, right? There's plenty of other spaces on Etsy where this is being done, like crochet. You know, just awful AI images that can't possibly be a real product. So here's the deal, here's the problem or the situation, and this is where I want you to think and get into my comments on this. So I hope you realize these plants and seeds aren't real. Let's go into one of these stores and I'm going to show you the mind-boggling part of this. It's just astonishing. Let's go into my computer. Let's do a bit of basic rummaging around in one of these stores and see what we can find. Okay, let's start our little journey with this seed shenanigans. Let's just type red, white, blue, hosta seeds, right? So just type that into search. And this is what we're presented with. Okay, we've got, you know, the red, white and blue. You can also see the orange and blue that I was talking about. And, you know, lots of different variations, but none of these plants are real. You know, they're just simply AI. And there are thousands and thousands of listings like this on Etsy. I mean, look at this. This is just crazy. You know, any ounce of common sense tells you that have you ever seen a plant like this in real life? No, neither have I. So you've got all these different stores, right, selling. Look at this, it's just crazy, right? It's just, you know, just absolutely bonkers. Selling these, look at this one, you know, absolutely crazy. You know, I mean, wouldn't that look amazing in your garden if you could actually buy something like that, right? But here's the problem, here's the situation, okay? First of all, Etsy has a basic duty of care to improve its screening methods to stop listings like this being sold. Because whether you like it or not, right, they do look really good. They look very appealing to the eye. I'm sure if we discount our horror for a second, most of you could find one design, AI design, so to speak, that you like, right? So very alluring, very bonkers and ridiculous, but Etsy has a duty of care to, you know, I'm just saying this for what it is. These should not be allowed on Etsy, you know? Absolutely ridiculous. But let's just dig a little bit further, you know, let's go into this. If we go back up here and, you know, if you look at a store that has these, they're making sales, okay? They're making sales, right? And what's really scary is that people are handing over money for something, and that presents a new problem. You know, fallibility, gullibility. You can see straight away, anyone that knows anything about Etsy, if you see those 3 stats there, 102 sales, 5 months, 3.4 star reviews. Let's go down to these reviews, right? And dig a bit further, right? As soon as you come down here, it's just, you know, mixed seeds are bogus. First, my seeds came from Amazon with no instructions. I paid $5 shipping for each seed pack. Same thing I looked for in Amazon. It's way cheaper. This is a scam. I mean, you know, this has got like a chicken head seeds or something. Just crazy. You know, came with no instructions. But then you get this. 5 star for the same thing that someone reported as a 1 star, right? 5 star, right? 5 star, 5 star, 5 star. So you see these early reviews. Notice the inactive accounts. Telltale giveaway. These are all fake reviews. Okay, there's no way these can be real reviews because the products don't exist, right? There's another person, scam, and then you get back into the scams. You see? So it's a mixture of real people, like all these poor customers, buying them, and then they have fake reviews to back this up. And I went to another store, this one here. This is just horrific. So these guys, 32,000 sales in 4 years, and it's a mixture of real plants and flowers and fake. So this is kind of duping people because a lot of the reviews, like there's these here, these heirloom tomatoes, this is real. The seeds are real, right? But it's mixed in with these fakes here, right? Look at these. Look at that, right? So my problem or the conundrum here is what's making people buy these when, you know, how do people think these are real? And it's not just one person, it's thousands and thousands of people buying these fake seeds and getting ripped off. This is basically a giant rip-off operation. So at what point does Etsy policing finish and common sense need to take over? Because yes, of course, you know, these listings shouldn't be here, but they are here, right? And obviously I'm hoping every one of you would look at these and just laugh, but thousands and thousands of people are buying these. And there's obviously faulty thinking here, because these people think that they're real. Why do they think they're real? Have you ever seen a plant like that in real life? You know, or the red, white and blues? You know, no, of course you haven't. You ever seen a plant like that? No. But even though you've never seen it before, people are still buying them. So let me know if you've fallen victim to this. Have you seen these listings? What do you think about this? How much of the responsibility is on Etsy and how much of the responsibility is on us as internet consumers to kind of know what ends up, what's right and what's wrong, what's real and what isn't. I'll be fascinated to know what you guys think. And as always, if you want to work with me, don't wait, don't guess. The booking now button's coming up for my wonderful Etsy Academy, where you can learn how to build a successful business with myself, my team, and about 100 other lovely students who are also in the Academy. I look forward to catching you in there and catching you in the comments. Cheers.